This is the second time I made this picture of the cat. The first time I did it, the paper was wet, my ink smeared, and it ruined it. So I ended up tearing it out of the book and throwing it away. So this is my second attempt, and actually in a way it's better because I think the cat looks better in this picture. This cat goes back to 1989, 1990, somewhere in there. It's an interesting story. Back then, I was friends with some guys in a band, and the band was called Escape, and they wanted a logo design for their poster. And they had this tagline, "No Pussy Rock." They asked me if I could do a cat. I said, sure, I'll give it a shot. So I drew this cat, and I put sunglasses on it. This one does not have sunglasses on it, but it's this exact same cat. I've been doing this cat for years and years and years and years. I could do it in my sleep, standing on my head with my left hand tied behind my back. So I figured I eventually was going to get to this cat anyway, so I'm just going to do it today. This is an adventure because this started off pretty strong. The design was pretty good, and then it got into this area where it went straight to heck, and I thought I was going to have to throw this one away as well. I had to dig it out of the trash can of art to fix it. So here I am. I'm doing my main drawing. I pulled out my H3, H5, I'm not sure, pencil. I did the outline dark, and now I'm going in with some ink wash, and I'm just doing the edges to give it some sort of a round effect. I don't know if that worked because there's my real cat. That's Sherbert. We've had Sherbert now for about 2 years. He was a rescue cat that my brother found on his farm, and he loves to bat my pencils and my paints onto the floor all the time, as you can see, and I had to get rid of him there. We call him Sherbert because he's orange and white, and he looks like sherbet ice cream, but he's an awesome cat, really good cat. And anyway, so I'm back to my picture, and I'm doing the edges with about I don't know, 40% gray tone here. And this is where I started getting a little bit nervous because now it's starting to look pretty stark. You know, it's either dark or it's light. And I'm thinking, oh no, this isn't going to work. I'm going to end up taking this one out too. But I had to have some confidence in myself and have some patience and hope for the best. So I kept at it. So I was thinking about Egypt as I did my little kitty cat here. Gave him the Egypt eyeballs with that eyeliner. And put in some lines, put those, most cats have these little things on top of their head, these little lines, and okay, here I am kind of filling in the pupils a little bit, trying to draw this out of the abyss, thinking, well, if I had the eyeballs, maybe it'd look a little bit better. So here I'm thinking, well, maybe if I shade it, it'll be a little bit better, but I want to use pencil as well as ink wash because I want this to have some texture to it. So I'm going through here, putting in some texture, a lot of cross-hatching. Cross-hatching is one of the things I think I do well. So cross-hatching in this, cross-hatching that. And here I am with a H5 or H3 pencil. I should look at the pencil. I have one of each. I don't know which one this is. I bought it because I wanted to have some darker lines. And it really does work. By using this pencil, I don't have to use ink. And sometimes I find ink a bit abrasive. And I mean, inking is a thing of itself. I'm a pretty good inker myself, but I have to really sit down. It takes a lot of time, and it takes some better pens to do it. And I wasn't going to spend a whole lot of time with this. I think I spent a total of a half an hour. So I did get some burnt umber and some white, and I mixed it up so it'd be just a little bit brighter than the actual paper itself, so I could outline this. And I wanted to have it kind of have a halo effect, and it worked. And this is when I first started thinking, I might be able to pull this picture out of the abyss of art garbage. It started to work for me. I just imagined that there's a light behind his head, and all of his fur around his head was kind of lighting up, and it's a neat effect, and it worked. So I'm now starting to do some highlights, and honest to gosh, I've turned this drawing into a painting, which I swore I wasn't going to do, and after this one, I'm not doing it again, unless I do some watercolors. But this one here actually has some thick paint, and it's a crossbreed between a painting and a drawing. But what the heck? YouTube videos are cheap. I can make bunches of them, and it's an experiment. And realistically, I think it worked. And how are you ever going to learn if you don't try, right? The worst that could have happened was I took 2 pieces of paper and threw it in the trash. Okay, so I'm darkening up the pupils a little bit more. I thought about giving him some eye color, and I kind of addressed that towards the end of the video, but I kept it just black and the color of the paper. And I put some highlights in there. You'll see it as it comes. So now I'm adding a little bit darker gray tones with my ink wash, because the under parts of the cat wouldn't be getting as much light. In the ears wouldn't be getting as much light. Now back to my cartoony ways, I'm giving this cat eyebrows. I don't know if cats actually have eyebrows, but this one does. It gives him kind of a happy, surprised look, like he just caught a mouse. He's going, hey, look, I caught a mouse. I don't know why you didn't paint the mouse into the picture, but okay. So now I'm starting to do, what am I starting to do here? I'm adding, oh, here we go. This is where I pulled it out of the garbage can. My highlights is where my paintings, I'm going to call it a painting, live. But since this is on paper and I've never highlighted my cat before, this was more experimentation. I didn't know it was going to work until I got about halfway through with it. And I go, well, let's do the eyelids. Is that going to look good? Let's do the top of the nose. Is that going to look good? It started to come out. It started to work out. And I gave him a little bit of a white mustache. That's not a mustache. That's just highlights. And with more and more highlights, the more and more I felt confident this was going to work. And so I kept going, added more and more highlights. Now I'm going around. I'm not putting highlights around the highlights. That's how nuts I am with this thing. But it worked. It's just I mixed the white with a little bit of the burnt umber, kept it a little bit whiter, and it made for a neat double effect. I got two tones of highlights from the lights behind his head, and it kind of looks like an angel cat. That's neat. Maybe I'll start angel cat pictures and build up a huge YouTube following, which means that it's time for me to say, please like, share, and follow and share. I don't have a whole lot of followers right now, and I could use a whole bunch more. So if you're seeing this and got this far into it, could you click the share button and or the like button or any button you can find, and because I have lots and lots of videos, and I'd love for somebody to go through and binge watch them all. I mean, I do. I guess I'm my own biggest fan. That's kind of sad to say. So I'm adding more and more highlights here. And what am I doing? I'm putting the teeth in a little bit brighter because he has those 2 little front fangs. I know because Sherbert likes to bite. He's a biter. If he doesn't get the kind of attention he wants, he will let you know, and he will use his teeth to do it. He's a very loving cat, but he's very demanding, like most cats are, if he doesn't get the kind of attention he wants. So now I'm putting him on more eyeliner. It's called the Egyptian eyeliner, cat eyeliner. And what am I doing now here? I am adding more highlights, I think. It's a really thin eyelid in there, and that's surgical precision there. That is surgical precision. That's 5 years of art school right there. I'm joking. Now I'm putting in some more highlights because I love my highlights, where the hair kind of falls off the edge. And I got a little splotch on the right there. If I was going to sell this for $1 million, I'd find a way to get rid of it. But this is just an experiment that is going to get me more and more followers for my YouTube channel, because I want to get my YouTube money and buy me a pontoon boat. That's a goal. To own a pontoon boat so I can go out in the lake. And I'm not really much of a fisherman, but I think I just want to go around and putt around the lake with my pontoon boat. So my art needs to pay itself off, because I went to art school for 4 or 5 years, and I had to pay it off with being a nurse, which is kind of sad to say. Not that being a nurse is sad, it's just that I felt like I wasted my money. But don't let me discourage you. If you want to be an art student and go to art school, go for it. Looking back at it, I wouldn't do it again, at least not in art. I would go back and do nursing, I think. You always find a job as a nurse, but there's not a lot of people who are going to pay you to paint a picture of a cat or robots or whatever I'm doing. The only good money I ever made, and it wasn't even good money, was when I was doing caricature art for high school proms, and I probably made $300 a night, and that's pretty much dirt. Nowadays, I could probably pull maybe 4 or 5, but still, and you're up till 3 in the morning with a bunch of screaming kids. Nothing wrong with kids. Okay. And I was searching for my good marker pen, and I couldn't find it, so I'd use a fat one. But I still wrote Keith Trimm 24, and I want you to thank you for coming, like, subscribe, and share.